Alrighty, here we are then. Hello and welcome everybody to Fargone Racing GT Challenge Season 22, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, it's a new season, it's a new dawn for Fargone Racing. New drivers, different cars, returning drivers of old, and up and coming champions. This is going to be a fantastic season of Fargone Racing action. We have an 8-race calendar, once again, the standard, what we're used to. Maddie, though, has changed cars to one she's never driven before. Here, at least not live on Sensational TV. She is driving the Bentley. She's out of the Mustang, she's out of the Mercedes, she's now driving, again, the quickest car. Parker, in the Lexus. Reese has gone back to his bogey car, the Porsche, the car that he struggled so much with not that long ago. I think only 2 seasons ago. Then you have Damon Boost now in the BMW. Dave Ross has moved from the Mercedes to the one, the only, the most beautiful car on the grid, the Aston Martin. Unfortunately, the only one kicking around this season. Tobesire has now gone into the Ford. However, I think recollection of him being in the Ford before, maybe even last season. Memory's failing me in that regard. Bradley is in the McLaren again. Racer is in the Lexus. Old Man Racer in the Ferrari still. Longy, the #1 car, last season's champion, the reigning champion, has moved to the BMW. Griffin has moved away from the Bentley and moved to the McLaren, where they said, I don't know if I want to experience Bentley dominance, or something along those lines, a bit differently worded, but something along those lines about Maddie now being in the Bentley. Then Hoggy.
Good evening.
Is in the Ferrari, and there he is. So I do have a co-commentator in the box today. I was just waiting for him to re-arrive here. So I'm Lindsay Muddle in the commentary box, and I am joined by Geordie Slater. Most of you mightn't have heard him before. He's alright. One of my best mates. I've known him for a very long time, and he's joining me here in the commentary box tonight.
Indeed. One of my favourite tracks too, actually. Hello, everyone. One of my favourite tracks, Monza. I think this track's very, very good. Whilst it's very short and sharp, got a couple of straights and whatever. I think it's one of the circuits that actually requires a lot of precision, because when you've got such a little amount of corners, you have to perfect them in order to get lap time out of them. Because it's not like a really long track where if you don't perfect all of them but do them all okay, you still get a reasonable lap time. It's like here, you need a lot more precision in your cornering, or else it's going to cost you a lot more than what it normally would. So, here you're talking about the Bentley, or should I say the Goatley dominance. Is that right? Yes.
Somewhat,
find that
from what
interesting.
I've heard. We'll find out. I'm not actually sure. But Maddie is coming around towards the Parabolica now, so we'll see what time she lays down. And then we'll go on to the Porsche of Steve Reese to see what time he puts down. He's right behind Maddie. So Maddie does a 47.0. Stephen Reese goes 2.5 tenths slower than that. Dave Ross in the Aston is just making his way around the lap. Who else is on a lap? The previous champion, Longy. Andrew Long has just started a lap in what is a very strikingly liveried BMW. That is a new style of livery here for Longy in his championship parade season. And he is now going to be pushing that BMW in anger for the first time this season. And looking quite comfortable. And Hoggy in the 42 Ferrari back to his old car. I think he changed just last season. And just quickly on a note, just a bit of history here. Last time out we went to Monza, not that long ago, Stephen Reese in the Porsche, in what was a fairly big bogey season for him, was able to take pole position in the Porsche at the death of it in qualifying. Similar format as well. Very, very tricky to get the time out of the Porsche when it's so slow in a straight line. It's such a straight line dependent circuit. Can he do it again though?
Well, trying to get lap time out of a car that's not great in the straight lines, a track where straight line is literally 99% of it, as you said, yeah, that's very, very hard. But if the man can put it on pole, geez, he's doing something right, I'll give him that. So we've had our opening laps, Lindsay. So Maddie in the Bentleys on a 47.020 to start us off with. Stephen Rees done a 47.265. to start us off with, and then we've got as I'm not actually sure, can't see the first names of these people who are in third and fourth currently.
Justin Griffin, Alex McEwen's just gone up to fourth. So yeah, let me give you a rundown so you can learn some of the names. So Maddie holds pole position at the moment from Steve Reese, then James Parker, and then Alex McEwen, Andrew Long, Oggy Perko, Eden Nick, Tim Bradley, Speed Racer, MJ, Old Man Racer, Broads, Toba Sire, double checking my name sheet here. Yeah, Tom Marzella, then Demon Boost, Dave Ross, and Biggie Hugs.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll learn this over time as Maddie's gone. Pole has increased. Actually, has gone faster again. It's on the 46.912. But Stephen Rees, Lindsay, has just gone even faster again in the Porsche. She's only gone through 33,000 slower than him. We still have 8 minutes left to qualifying, but at a track where you're doing a 1 minute 46 lap time, you only get a couple of laps to try and perfect it. So pressure's on him for the other drivers to try and get a lap together.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, here in the Sensational TV commentary box, I've just finished my burger, so I'm now locked in. Maddie, yeah, she holds pole by 300ths, and I'll tell you what, Steve-O not improving at the minute. Maddie, however, is a 10th up on her previous best lap time, according to my little timing sheet. So Maddie absolutely flying out there at the moment. Steve-O down 3/10, so this is definitely crunch time as the 666 going slowly. I think just letting some cars go and returning back to the pit lane. So Maddie, she is absolutely flying, and now coming out of the Parabolica, it looks like she's going to extend her pole advantage by 0.3 of a second. So it should be a 46.56, and it's never mind, it's a 46.575. 0.3 clear of Steve-O. She's absolutely flying. Alex McEwen, debutant to this particular series, but I'll tell you what, in some other sims, he is the dedicated alien, specifically in the land of Assetto Corsa. He races a lot, and he's very, very fast, much like Stephen Rees. And these two, actually, Alex McEwen and Stephen Rees, they had a championship battle in the Inter-Club Racing Championship not that long ago. So he'll be looking to get quicker and quicker and quicker. I don't believe he has much experience in ACC, so definitely it is going to be interesting to see how he progresses over the course of the season as Maddie pulls over to the side and she's going back to the pit lane. So Stephen Rees in second, 0.3 to find, and he's currently 0.2 up.
There you go, 0.2 up, puts him 1/10 behind, 1.7 behind Maddie specifically, but he's going to need to find about 3.8 if he's going to get into pole position currently. So down straight towards the Ascara chicane. Jeez, I haven't been through my corner names at Monza for quite a while. Have to refresh myself on those. The Ascara chicane, one of the most famous corners in the entire world, actually. Named after, I think it's, what, Alberto Ascari, I think his name is? Yes. So, now, through Ascari, it looked relatively clean. Lindsay got over the curbs, sat the car nicely, used the exit, and now on the run to the famous Parabolica. Gonna get the car stopped, pivot it, and now on the run out of here, hold it tight, I would presume. Yeah, hold it tight. Just cut the distance. No need to drive extra meters if it isn't going to do you much any good. And on the run to the line, Stephen Rees, what does he do? He only does a 46.812, so he doesn't quite get the lap time he needed there, Lindsay. And he said he was 0.2 up, and he didn't quite go that fast, so he obviously lost some time in that last part of the lap. And as we go on board with, is it James Griffin?
No, Justin.
James Griffin. Justin Griffin, right, Justin Griffin, sorry. It's James Parker, that's the other one, yeah. So, Justin Griffin into the Della Rogers chicane, flicks the car in nicely, got the car rotated there, gets a bit of a squabble there on the exit, and now on the run through to the two Lesmos. These are more high-speed corners on the track. This requires smooth braking and smooth power inputs because you can't afford the car to run out too wide, but you want to use all the road. And it looks relatively clean there for Justin there, but he just tapped the grass on the exit there, but I don't think that'll cost him too much time on the run through to the Ascara chicane. I'm not sure whether he's up or not, but Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2 looks relatively clean. Get hot on the brakes. Fully Ascari chicane. Flick it in. Use the curb as much as you can. Now hug the curb on the right. You want to set up the exit here for Ascari. Absolutely demolish that curb. Hold it flat. Use the exit curb. And now pin it flat. Make it a bit of a toe here, actually. From the Bentley in front, pulls out of the way to give him the clean air into the final corner, parabolica right. 50-meter board, locate that, get it hard on the brake, pivot the car, turn it in, miss the apex there just by a little bit, but he plants the throttle on, hold it tight, cut your meters to the line. Here in the McLaren, the Papaya McLaren, not really cut that color, but brings it to the line, improves by 200s, but it's only a 46.9, still 3.7 tenths off, but he's in third place.
Yep, and that is great driving there from Griffin. As welcome into the chat, Tash, and already dropping the wallet, $20. Thank you so much for that one, and what a way to kick the season back off. As I'll tell you what, we've got an iRacing series stealing our viewers at the moment, Geordie. Sensational just picked up an iRacing series, and there seems to be a slight overlap, but I think it has now finished. But I'll tell you what, they were absolutely tanking our viewership.
Well, that's what iRacing will do to you. Bloody iRacing. Oh, goodness me, that was a very loose Ferrari through that first part of chicane. Now, Lindsay, please do me a refresher. I've forgotten what is it the Varianta chicane? Is that what the first chicane's called in Monza? You'd be the guy to
Yes,
know.
it's the Retifilio. It's variant. So turn 1 and 2 is called Varianta del Retifilio.
Okay, Del Retifilio. Right. Okay, I'll get used to that.
Just call it Retifilio, or just call it turn 1. That's what I do.
Yeah, the Retifilio. Right. Then you got Della Roger, Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2, Ascari, Parabolica. Oh, and Curva Grande. Sorry, I forgot about that. Curva Grande.
Fine, you'll get your bearings eventually. This is supposed to be your track, Geordie.
Yeah, I know it is supposed to be my track, Lindsay, but I've been rusty. I haven't touched it in a while. I haven't really done much laps here recently, so I'll have to get back in touch with it. Alex McEwen, in the Lexus. I don't mind the look of the Lexus, actually. I don't mind
it.
it.
It looks pretty good.
I know, it's done well in the World Endurance Championship this year, I believe. I think they won. I'm not sure what they won. They've won a round. I just can't remember what. Anyway, through the final corner, I believe Alex McEwen might be starting a lap here, so we'll go on board. Run the wide line, carry as much speed as you can. That's where running the wide line is good, Lindsay, because you carry the speed and it helps you down the straight. You want to hit as much top speed as you can now on the run. Through to down to turn 1, we'll call it turn 1 for now. Spot the 150-meter board, hard on the brake. Now, pivot the car, down to second gear, pivot the car. Oh, the car looked like it got a bit looser on the exit. Plants the throttle low through the second part. And now you'll drive out of there, very crucial. Now, on the run, through towards the Curva Grande we go. Curva Grande, just hold it tight. No need to run too wide here. Minimum steering input. Now on the run, now set up the braking zone for the Della Rogers chicane. This is where you want to take as much curb as you can, but don't go too wide. It's what the 100-meter board. Don't clip the curbs too high. You don't want to unsettle the car. It looked relatively clean through there. Got both apexes. Used the exit. Now on the run now. Delesmo 1. Dab the brake. Turn the car in. Slowly ease the power on. Use as much track as you can without getting a track limits violation there. And he did exactly that, Alex McEwen. Now through Lesmo 2. Hit the inside curb. Does he use all the road? Yes, he does. He even touched a bit of the gravel there on the exit. So that's a very good run. And now set up the run down towards the Ascari chicane. This is where you hit another chunky amount of top speed. Now, spot the 100 board just after it. Plant the brake on. Third gear. Use all the curb. Now, hug it to the right. Set up the exit here. You want to be flat out through here. Get over the curb. Slide oversteer moment. And now, Lexus revving as it always does on the right to the famous Parabolica. Spot the 50-meter board here. Jam the brake on just before the 50 meter. Jam the brake on. Just hug the apex. Plant the throttle on, but don't drift too wide. Alex is always gone a little bit wide, but he hasn't hugged that inside there, Lindsay, so it's going to cost him a bit of time. But Alex McEwen to the line, relatively clean lap. Does he improve? No, he does not. He goes 15,000 slower, but he might be on for another fly here, as we only have 16 seconds left of qualifying.
Yes, which means Maddie is on her final flying lap. She currently holds provisional pole with a 1 minute 46.575. So she has a bit of a mission to improve, but I'll tell you what, Justin Griffin isn't improving as the timer ticks to 0. Stephen Reese as well, 5 tenths down. So it looks like she already has the pole position in one hand, but improving can only add a safety net at the end of the day. So let's see what she can manage as she heads into the 2 Lesmos. She's pushing that car to the absolute limit, and she'll still be learning this car as time goes on. She hasn't yet raced it, and she has 2 races now ahead of her, so she'll definitely be learning on the fly, seeing how it goes as the tyres get more and more worn, but there also would have been practice during the longer than usual off-season. Normally, we only have 1 week off, and then we're right back into it, maybe 2 if we're lucky. But this time around, because of the Interclub Championship and because of a few other things as well, and it's just approaching that end of year, we had a bit more of a break. It's been a whole month. Oh, as Maddie goes off the track, and that's her qualifying done. What about Griffin? They're heading through the 2 Lesmos, and they are on a lap, so we'll see what they can do. They only need to find a 10th and a half. But, yeah, so it's been a month since we had the finale at the Nordschleife, and now we're back here at the Temple of Speed, and we have a battle for pole. Can Griffin find time in the 3rd sector? Can they snatch it away from Maddie at the death of it? Justin Griffin pushing the car at 100%. Normally, they are the driver behind the wheel of the Bentley. But this time, this season, they have swapped to the McLaren 720S, and it looks like, by the margin I'm looking at the moment on my timing tower, that it's not going to be enough to topple the Bentley. So there might be a little bit of regret creeping in, but still a P2 is not going to be a bad result at all, as Justin Griffin instead actually heading into the pit lane. What about Hoggy? He stopped on the road. Perko across the line, which is Lee Perkins, still in the Man City livery. Get out of here. In P12. So your final qualifying result is Maddie from Justin Griffin. That gap a 10th and a half. Stephen Reese, another 700ths back from Justin Griffin. Then Alex McEwen on an ACC debut, only 8/10 off pole in the Lexus P5. And there's only more learning to come from that one. And then, yeah, oh no, sorry, P4. Then Parker gets 5th. Hoggy then gets 6th. Then you have Longy, Speed Racer, Tim Bradley, Biggie Hugs, Eda Nick, Lee Perkins, Old Man Racer, MJ, Tobasiah, Bros, Demon Boost, Dave Ross, Tom Marzella is the final car in qualifying. And now we're going to be heading towards a 30-minute race to set up the championship and also set up a reverse top 10 for the 40-minute second race.
Yeah, and that was actually quite good towards the end. I thought Justin Griffin might have been up. But yeah, watch Maddie through that final part of the lap. And simply just, I think she just put the throttle on, I think she wanted the sausage curbs, and it just unsettled the car a bit. And then, yeah, it got very loose in the second part, went through the gravel, and obviously ended the session. No real point carrying on with the lap at that point, so pull over, just park the car for now. And this Mr. Perko guy that you've mentioned with the Man City livery, might need to have a chat with him about this livery that
I've had a chat with him. He used to have the greatest livery of all time. And
well, you haven't done very well, because he's all got the Man City livery on it.
Yeah, just for context here in the commentary box, Geordie supports the worst Manchester team, supports United, and I'm an Arsenal supporter. So, yeah, some disdain towards that Manchester City livery. But anyway, we have 19 cars on the grid here getting ready for the, well, I normally say formation sector, but it's more like a formation corner here in Monza. So let's take a look through some of the liveries. Maddie with a very similar to theme, but striking livery on the Bentley. Then we have what looks like a bit of a Kiwi-themed McLaren GT3 livery. Very nice. And then Steve-O back in, I think it's the same Porsche livery he ran a few seasons ago. Oh, no, I think he was in like a Camel Williams-inspired livery last time, actually. So new livery there for Steve-O, but the same theme as usual. Then McEwen with the AK Racing livery, taking inspiration from the livery he ran in the Interclub Racing Championship. Then it's same as always for Parker, same as last season. Hoggy back to the standard, back to his usual proceedings, back in the Ferrari, and back in that livery in the 42. Very nice. This is...
Lightning McQueen one.
Pardon?
I thought that was a Lightning McQueen livery there for a sec.
No, not at all. Geordie, what planet are you living on? My favourite livery on the grid, this one. Absolutely fantastic from Longy with the new, well, with his new BMW. That is a great livery. I really rate that. Then you have the black and neon Speed Racer Lexus. Then same livery as last season. Bradley.
I don't mind that one.
Yeah,
That's
it's
my
nice.
favourite so
I've
far.
liked it.
Yeah, I like that blue one. Who's that guy? What's his name?
That is Tim Bradley. But anyway,
Right. Tim, you know your stuff.
we are now heading towards the race start here in the Temple of Speed for race number 1. So, here we go then. As we get the helicopter cam ready for the first time this season in Fargone Racing. It's Fargone Racing, GT Challenge, Season 22, and your first front 2 rows of the grid is Maddie alongside Griffin, then Stephen Reese alongside Alex McEwen. But here we are then, the Temple of Speed, 30 minutes ahead of us. Maddie is finally in a car that gets a good launch off the line. So, the green flags are ready to fly. The green lights are ready to illuminate here in the Temple of Speed in Italy at Monza. And as they approach the line, it's almost time to be underway for racing action. And there we go. It should drop, and now we are underway as Justin Griffin gets off to a good start, but so does Maddie, as Justin is going to have to get used to getting pumped off the start by the car he used to drive. So Maddie will be leading into turn 1. Steve-O being swamped by the Bullet straight line speed Lexuses. But now Steve-O's late on the brakes. Griffin nearly goes into the back of Maddie. That invites Steve-O onto the outside. Here coming through at a Filo for the first time. And now heading down Curva Grande. Maddie leads by a comfortable margin from Stephen Reese, who already slots his way up into P2 for the first time this season. But Griffin isn't going to be done yet as they head towards the Della Roggia chicane. Is it going to be a move made here from Griffin? No. In fact, Griffin's falling under pressure from Parker as they head into the second chicane, but nothing are doing here, as meanwhile Alex McEwen looking to get a nose in. It looks like there was contact there, and there is contact. Somebody's gone off the circuit and off the road. It isn't Tim, it's Old Man Racer, I think. No, was it Tim? It was Tim, you were right. And he has flown off the circuit. Let's grab a replay of that one. Oh, I've cut it too close. Can't get a replay of that one, but it looked like he clobbered over the curb. The reason I thought I wasn't him is because I thought I clicked his name earlier and it didn't go to him. But anyway, there's now a Honda stopped on the track as well. It's Broads in his debut in the Honda, and Red Bull livery as well. So you know it's been disastrous. And yeah, he's down the back, and that is unfortunate. Let's grab a replay of that one. So here we go, heading into the second Lesmo. Oh, he just runs deep, and then the Honda does Honda things, and then it just spins across the straight. That nearly collected a lot of cars. That would have been really, really deadly there for a few people had they been caught up in that mess. That could have been catastrophic. Meanwhile, let's look further up the front. It should cut back to live action in a moment then. So it should still be Maddie leading the way here at the end of lap 1. And actually, they're heading into turn 1, and Griffin was looking up the inside. Maddie leads by 1.7 seconds. Meanwhile, into turn 1, Andrew Long looking to get a nose up the inside of Alex McEwen. BMW versus Lexus, though. And the Lexus is an absolute bullet in a straight line. And now Longy is going to be looking to have a go here as they head through Curva Grande. Is it going to be a Grande move here down the inside of the Della Roggia chicane? No, he's not going to pull that one off, as they just back off, but he is showing the nose. He's trying to pressure McEwen into a mistake, but I'll tell you what, as much as he might not be used to the sim, Alex McEwen is very level-headed. He is not going to feel the pressure from a nose poke like that.
Absolutely, and so I mentioned how you weren't sure how Tim spun around. I think I just glimpsed in the back. So Tim was on the inside and tried to, obviously because the second part of the Della Roggia is so tight, so I think he tried to tighten it up to give space to the car on his outside on the exit. But then what happened is he clipped the sausage curb, and that just spun the car around. So yeah, that threw Tim back through the order. And Justin Griffin got so close to the back of Maddie there in turn 1. I think what happened is Justin just broke a tad too late, didn't want to hit Maddie, and I think he just took avoiding action and then missed Maddie in the back, but then ultimately gave Stephen Rees this position. Maddie now has a comfortable gap, 1.8 seconds over Stephen Rees, so I think she can take it easy for now. Do we have pit stops in this race?
That is actually a great question from my co-commentator, and I will be checking that now. But in the meantime, Hoggy is looking to make a move here as they head towards turn 1 as they cross the line. But what about the battle here? Oh, I missed it. Griffin has overtaken Stephen Rees, likely down the straight somewhere. Let's now go back to Hoggy. No, he wasn't able to get close enough to the Lexus, but that checks out because the Lexus goes so much quicker down the straight. As here we go, calendar. Where is the information I need, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think there should be mandatory stops. Yeah, I was right. It's just a reverse top 10 second race. Other than that, no stops here for this one. So they'll just push on and push continuously here for the entire race as Stephen Rees trying to put the pressure on again to Justin Griffin. But the problem Steve-O faces is that Porsche may as well have no horsepower. Like, it may as well be your go-kart, Geordie. It cannot go any quicker in a straight line. And that makes it very difficult to overtake here as he sits in the slipstream. Will he try to make a move at Ascari? I doubt it. It's a very risky place to go for a maneuver. And in fact, he isn't going for it. Meanwhile, there's a close three-way battle here between James Parker, Alex McEwen, and Andrew Long as they head into Ascari. No side-by-side, but it's Lexus on Lexus and then a BMW. So this is really close stuff between these three here. This is a good battle here in the first couple of laps of this race. And a couple of other battles going on as well, but I don't want to look at the Manchester City livery. Oh, I guess we're going to have to do it. So Ida Nick in the Ford Mustang has Lee Perkins sitting behind him in the BMW, and he'll be looking to size up a move. In fact, Lee showing the nose up the inside of the Parabolica as well. Hoggy is side by side there briefly with Speed Racer heading out of the Parabolica, and as well, it looks like one of the Ferraris is looking to get involved, and it is Old Man Racer, and I haven't got his livery, unfortunately. I don't know why it's not popping up. I did download them all, but we're going to have multiple side-by-side moments here as Speed Racer is going to go side-by-side with Hugs as they head into turn one, and he's going to get that one done by the looks of it. And now the two Ferraris are wheel-to-wheel, and there's contact between the two of them. They're just a little bump and wheel rub there between Old Man Racer and Hoggy as they'll go back into single file. But Speed Racer did get past, and now here comes Hoggy through the Curva Grande. He could be sizing up a move here on Biggie Hugs as they head into the second chicane, into the De La Roggia. Is he going to show a nose on the inside? Yes, he is. He's down the inside. He's wheel-to-wheel with the BMW, and he can't quite get it done, and he has to slot back in behind. Not working for him at the moment. Meanwhile, Steve-O sitting right underneath the rear wing of that McLaren.
Yeah, well, if you've got no straight line speed, it becomes a lot harder to pass. But Steve-O definitely seems to have the pace here. Lindsay, Maddie has pulled a 1.1 seconds, so she's very far in the lead at the moment. She's absolutely cruising in the Bentley as of current, doing the Bentley very, very well. Now, listen to that McLaren, absolutely red. Steve-O will probably be looking to eye up a move. Now, he'll get his slipstream behind. Oh, as actually Steve-O there has a moment of an oversteer there, and that's going to cost him a lot of time now, Lindsay. Steve-O is now going to drop back to probably about a second now, I'd say, that gap is. So,
yep. Porsche things.
That hasn't worked for Steve-O. Yeah, absolutely. Steve-O goes through that part of chicane. Oh, and here we go. Two Lexuses are fighting here. We've got things that James Parker and Alex McEwen side by side through the final corner through the Parabolica. James Parker has the inside line. Alex McEwen on the outside. He's got the run, actually. He's got the momentum. And now they can go side by side down the main straight towards turn one. Very, very tight. Who's going to break later? You can go around the outside here. You can also get the inside. This Alex McEwen just seems to be just edging in front of him. Can he maintain? No, he can't, because here goes...
that's deep on the brakes!
Fuck, he's gone too deep. And here comes Alex McEwen. He's gone through the first chicane, over the sausage curbs, and that's actually gifted the position, or it's left the position to John Parker. I think it's fourth place. No, sorry. James Parker was the one that went through the chicane, and he's lost the position to Alex McEwen there. So Alex McEwen, very happy with how that turned out. And this is proving out well for our good old friend the BMW here. Oh, as here goes Ida Nick in the Ford Mustang down the inside. Gets the move done. Nice and easily done. Now he's up a position into, actually no, I think he was defending the position there, rather should I say, from the BMW there. Yes, he was, in the Manchester City livery. Currently sits behind Old Man Racer in the Ferrari, who sits behind Hugs in the BMW as a camera. Can we please look at a car? Thank you sincerely. Ida Nick has the BMW of Perko right behind him on the run to the Ascari chicane. I don't think we'll see him move into here, but he's very, very close. We could potentially see him move. Actually,
Perkins has done it.
Is he going to go for a move? No, he does not. He just pulled to the inside
Oh, big mistake there for Nick, and he's gone straight on through the second part of the chicane, and that could have been disastrous as he gets overtaken by MJ there as well. Sorry to butt in, Geordie, but that was very, very, very close to being disastrous, and the rejoin luckily treating him nicely as once again I jump the gun and try a 10-second replay, and 10 seconds is a lot shorter time than you realise until you hit the replay button. Now, it looks like Longy is joining, Speed Racer is being under pressure from Hoggy, but once again the Lexus will carry. But into turn one, it looks like McEwen is going to be under pressure from Parker. Once again, we saw these two wheel-to-wheel last lap. Last time, Parker flew off straight, but this time he outbrakes McEwen on the outside, gets alongside, and now they're drag racing now as they head into Curva Grande. So it's Lexus versus Lexus here. James Parker versus Alex McEwen, and you can't count out last season's champion either as they head in towards the Delorgia chicane. Is it going to be late on the brakes from Parker? It is rare to beat Alex McEwen in a battle of the late braking, but he is going to look up the inside anyway, and he gets it done, but he clobbers over the curb and spins himself around in what was a disastrous move. He tried to outbrake Alex McEwen, and that's just something you cannot do, as we'll look at the Helicam replay, and that is so tricky there. The ACC curb physics just absolutely destroying the hopes and dreams of James Parker there. As we can see, he goes so late on the brakes. It was so aggressive. He got alongside though. It was a really good effort. Clobbers over the sausage curb. It bounces up his front, sends him into the side of Alex McEwen, and that is absolutely disastrous as he also has to back out of the wall doing a 3-point turn in a GT3 car. And now that is that battle done, and Parker further down, and now Alex McEwen will be under pressure up from Andrew Long instead.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate there. Physics kind of playing its role there. Hits the side of the car and it's spun him around. So very unfortunate there for James, but he's got an effort now. Oh, here we go. As we got Hugs defending from Old Man Racer. Old Man Racer in the matte black Ferrari. I don't mind the look of that actually. Now currently behind Hugs. Now big Hugs on to the main straight. Can he go for a move into turn one? He's in the slipstream. And is he gaining? Maybe a tiny amount. He's in the slipstream. It's 2.7 tenths a gap. He's gaining on the BMW. He's gaining ever so slightly. Is he going to go for a move? He pulls to the inside. Brakes later. Can he pull it up to the corner? No, he cannot. He goes to the chicane. Just cuts the grass. See you later. And I think he's going to rejoin it. I think he's going to have to get the position back. Yes, he does, because you can't cut the track and gain a lasting advantage, as we know from the world of Formula 1. And actually, here comes Hoggy against Speed Racer. Hoggy trying to find a way past, but just can't quite find. So he just can't quite find a way past. So he sits behind him currently for the meantime. To the Delorgia chicane, still right behind him, and we'll see if he can potentially go for a move. Oh, geez, that Ferrari very loose in the entry there. And one thing I also wanted to point out here, Lindsay, so Stephen Rees has fallen back another second to Justin Griffin, because that gap. And actually, Justin Griffin is making up very good time on Matty here. I think the gap was like 6 seconds. It's now 4.2, unless I'm reading that all wrong. Hoggy's still on the back of Speed Racer here. The gap 4 tenths down the main straight at Monza. So potentially could be a move going on there, I think. Wait, no, your stream is just completely re-updated for me. Sorry. Now, right, back at this point. No, goodness me, we're going to the Parabolica. My apologies, everyone. I just had an issue on my end. Right.
Geordie's internet, you'll get used to it, everybody.
Yeah, you'll get used to it. This stream just paused, I think, and it just didn't go anywhere. Right, down the main straight. Hoggy's behind Speed Racer, and we'll see. Is he gaining on the Lexus? As you said, the Lexus is a bullet in a straight line, so I doubt he'd be gaining much. The gap is 3.5 tenths. Is he close enough to go for a move into turn one? I don't think he will be on this occasion, no. So Hoggy will just have to sit behind the Lexus for the time being and try and find a way. Actually, as I think he's just looped that around. I didn't quite see there was contact there. Maybe get a replay on that.
Yeah.
Because he went deep, and then I think he came back.
There was a touch there, though.
The next corner. There was a touch. Okay, right. Well, it looked like Speed Racer went deep into the first corner, and then he tried to get it back across. I think he had an oversteer moment between turn 1 and 2. They tried to come back across, but then didn't work out for him. So we'll see here. Yep, goes deep. Actually, so did the Ferrari. Is there contact? Oh.
No, actually, there wasn't.
No, not from our point
I
of view.
thought
So
it very much looks like it in the way that Lexus just suddenly spins around. But I'll tell you what, it's not iRacing. There's not netcode. So we don't have to worry about ghost contact. If that was an iRacing stream, I'd be going, oh yeah, netcode. Oh well.
Yeah,
But but here in the land of ACC, if you have bad internet, you just teleport around the circuit willy-nilly.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I prefer, netcode or teleportation. But sometimes in iRacing you have both. So pick your poison. But now Hoggy is in the clutches from Biggie Hugs, who's trying to pressure. And what a big train we have here. Normally, it's a battle up the front that I'm looking at. Oh, what has happened? Okay, Hoggy's back. He had an internet moment.
Who's gonna come out in front?
Monaco references. But, yeah, Hoggy is under pressure from Biggie Hugs. Old Man Racer's under pressure from Lee Perkins. And then MJ on the back of that one as well. And Nick just falling away a little bit. As, yeah, you did mention Stephen Race has fallen away just a touch. And that is what happens when you drive the Porsche at Monza. As Munro Racing, that being... well, I don't know. It's one of two Munros. I don't know which one, to be honest. I don't know whose Discord account is who. But Alex McEwen is in ACC. Yes, he is league racing. He's sitting in 4th, and he's slowly getting away from Andrew Long at the moment. And he's just creeping away. Just broken 1 second, actually, to the BMW. He's only getting faster as well. He's getting used to the sim. He's normally driving a Assetto Corsa day in, day out. League racing it, winning everything, might I add, as well. Unless Stephen Race is on the grid.
Oh, that's
as yeah, it is a McLaren going deep, and now Old Man Race is going to look up the inside of the Lesmos on MJ. So he breaks late, gets it done, and that is move done and dusted there for Old Man Racer. A good bit of capitalization there. As here comes the Ford Mustang though, potentially looking to get involved. As wrong on board, Lindsay. Oh, why am I looking at a Lexus? Where I'm lost. Hold on.
Oh,
there we go.
Oh, that's a McLaren very close to the back.
Yeah, it looks like MJ's repressuring in towards Ascari, and he is going to look now up the inside, and he is going to get that one not done. In fact, they're still wheel-to-wheel through Ascari, and that is now the Ferrari staying ahead. Here comes Nick though. He gets a slingshot off of Ascari, and now heading into Parabolica. The Mustang getting to use the little bit of power. It's not restricted, and now heading into the final corner. And he's trying to go side by side with the McLaren, but he loses out through the corner. But now the exit should come back towards him. As now, here we go, in the slipstream. MJ is going to be under immense pressure here from the Ford Mustang. Nick barges his way to the inside as they're drag racing now in towards turn number 1 and 2. Who's going to be last on the brakes? It looks like it should be Nick with the inside line as they head into the braking zone. MJ brakes late, Nick brakes later. They're wheel to wheel now as heading through the second part. Will Nick try to switch back? No, the McLaren has to drive over the top of the curb. That unsettles the exit a little bit, and now Nick is going to be the car taking the place, but now MJ, he's fighting it back. It's V8 versus V8, but it's Mustang versus McLaren as they head now in towards the second chicane. MJ, he's not done fighting yet though. He's forced to the outside line of the Della Roggia as they still go side by side, but MJ is not the person to hold on. It's Nick gaining the place.
Wow, what a battle. Old Man Racer cut the first chicane, by the way. He's maintained the gap, so I don't know if he had to give it up. Oh, he comes to McLaren.
Oh, that Lexus in the background as well.
Yeah, goodness me, I saw that too. There's action going on everywhere here. So MJ right on the back to shoot Lexus. Oh, that looked very loose there for James Barker.
Oh, it's number 6, Stevo. Stevo's gone. The Porsche's done Porsche things. So let's grab a replay here as it is Chris. Okay, there we go. As heading into Ascari, we know that he struggles with this car ever so much. I don't know why he's gone back to it, but I reckon it's on the curb. I reckon the curb's probably unsettled him here, so he goes over the first one. It'll be the last one, though, because you've got... Oh, no, it's that curb, and then it sends him to space. Oh. ACC suspension absolutely crapping its pants. And that is what happens when you touch the sausage curb here on Assetto Corsa Competizione. But now Stevo looking to be immediately back on the attack as he's looking now in the slipstream of Andrew Long. So it's the two championship rivals from last season. Is Stevo going to look up the inside? No, he's going to be patient. He usually is. He's very cool, calm and collected. A mistake like that, not very common for Stevo. But when you're in the Porsche, you could be Max Verstappen or you could be Nikita Mazepin, and you would still spin.
that's a very wide range. That's a big range
It's
of
the
drivers.
whole
to be
range
fair.
of drivers.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd agree with that, but we'll go along with it anyway. But yeah, ACC curb physics, very, very bravo. I touch a curb, car goes boing, boing, boing. See you later. Very, very sincere. So Steven's got some work to do. He's behind Andrew Long currently. I think he'll get this move done. I mean, maybe. I mean, he's currently sat 2 cents behind. And we've made out to be that the Porsche has absolutely no horsepower, but he gets a very good run off Lesmo too. And now he's going to look to the side. He's going to use the side draft, if that even exists on this game. He's going to pull up alongside Andrew Long, but he's on the wrong side of the road approaching the Ascari chicane though, so he's going to brake hard. Is it enough though? No, it is not. Oh, goodness me, he tried to hold it there for a brief moment, I thought. Andrew Long thought he was going to at least, but he holds position, Andrew does, and now they live to fight another day on track, on road towards the Ascari chicane, as Andrew just struggling there in a straight line. As you said, Lindsay, he just seems to be having not as much straight line speed as he probably needs to try and do this overtake a bit more easily. But let's see the run. Gets a decent run. Oh, he got a bit squiggly there out of the final parabolic corner. And that isn't exactly going to help him very well down this long main straight at the Temple of Speed of Monza. And one other thing I want to point out here too, Lindsay, is that Justin Griffin has barely lost any time to Matty over the last like 5 laps. The gap was like 4.2. It's 4.3 now, so Justin's showing very strong pace at the moment compared towards Matty. But Andrew Long in fourth position. He's got a job to do to fend off Stephen Rees, as I'm sure everyone on this grid knows that Stephen Rees is definitely a very good driver. He's just driving a car that makes overtaking very impossible for him.
Yeah, and now he's going to look up the inside nearly on the De La Roggia chicane. He looks for it, but just doesn't go late on the brakes. He knows he has a bit of time to work with here, and he's all over the back of Longy at this point, and then he'll have to close up to Alex McEwen. But overtaking Alexis, I actually don't know if that will happen. I actually don't know. I think it might be a physical impossibility in a Porsche. But now Steve-O, he's going to look to the inside of Lesmo too. This is an aggressive one. He gets the elbows out after a mistake from Longy running wide, and now he gets it done on the inside of the second Lesmo, and you don't see an overtake at that corner any time at all, especially with 10 minutes to go in a 30-minute sprint race. Meanwhile, Tom Marzella has stopped on the side of the road. I want to know what's happened here, potentially an incident with the BMW. So let's take a look here. Heading in towards turn 1, the Ferrari wheel to wheel with the BMW, and there's a little bit of contact. No, actually, cuts over the curb, but the car just about survives it all. What is going on?
Oh, okay.
It looks like he just stops.
He just stopped.
Maybe hardware? I would imagine hardware.
Or maybe he just said, nah, you know what? I'm furious. I'm just going to park it.
As now the
happens,
666 is slow. What has happened to the 666?
Oh God.
No.
Where is the triple? Oh,
Oh,
goodness.
he's also just stopped.
Why are these cars stopping, Lindsay? What's going on?
Geordie, I know. I know why. Ladies and gentlemen, I know why. The Cars 2 camera gun has arrived here at the Temple of Speed, and it is blowing up everybody's engines.
But Finn McMissile's the one using it this time, you see. Finn McMissile decided he's going to become a bad guy for the day. Yeah, he's the bad guy today, and he's just shooting everyone as he pleases with the Cars 2 weapon gun. So, I assume, I mean, clearly he sat at, like, Lesmo 2 or something. Clearly. Or, well, I don't know where he could be sat. Maybe there's multiple. Oh, it's Stephen Rees. Lindsay, that's a mistake there by Stephen Rees, and that's going to help Andrew Long to get back past Stephen Rees, and it will. So, Andrew Long on the inside line into Lesmo 1. Steve-O's going to fight it though around the outside. Can he hold it? I think he's got ahead. He still has. Actually, hasn't got ahead. He just maintained it. But very nicely done there by Stephen Rees to at least maintain the position around the outside of Lesmo 1. I think he just made the mistake by going just a tad too deep, and that then affected him down the run towards Lesmo 1. But it has brought Andrew Long back into contention here for 4th place. So Andrew might want to look to see, as he puts the throttle on, just had a tiny bit of an oversteer moment there. On the run, out of Ascari, and now going towards the Parabolica, where this corner's crucial. If Andrew's to do a move, he needs to get this exit here right. As he's sitting in behind Steve-O Rees, gets on the brakes, pivot the car in, as it looks like he's just gone a little bit wide. Oh, but Steve-O has a slight oversteer moment out of the Parabolica. So here we go. Down the main straight. can Andrew Long catch up and go for a move into turn 1 if this Porsche is so bad in the straight line? So here we go. He's in the slipstream. I think he's gaining ever so slightly. In fact, yeah, he is. He is gaining, and he is gaining on that Porsche. Can he go for a move into turn 1? Does he brake later? No, he does not. Not close enough to do a move. Does he pull up for the corner? Yes, he does. Well, Andrew Long lives to fight another day.
Yeah, and these two are going to continue going at it for the next remaining 6 minutes of this one. This is the closest battle on circuit, so this is the one. We'll stay with the train further down, just split up a little bit after that incident at turn 1. It kind of split everybody up because they kind of had to go around and avoid the cars parked on the exit. As now, Steve-O, yeah, that Porsche just is not fun to drive. As much as I'm a Porsche lover myself, and I actually mained the Porsche for a long time on ACC, then I found the Aston and I decided I like cars that are drivable. Steve-O's decided to challenge himself and go for a car that isn't drivable. So definitely giving himself the #1 challenge here, but heading down the straight, heading towards Ascari. It looks like he's holding on for the moment. There's another close battle here potentially. No, I'm not sure what my Delta's telling me, to be honest.
Hell, the car going very wide out of
As yeah, here is Lee Perkins. Sorry, my buttons aren't working properly, if I'm being entirely honest. He Hugs is under pressure from Old Man Racer. That is the battle I was trying to find. And in fact, now he looks to the inside of Ascari. He shows the nose. There's contact between the two of them. And that's a big moment there for Old Man Racer, who now loses out to the Ford Mustang of Eden Nick, who once again, in a battle, just picks up the pieces after a mistake at Ascari. And now, as they head towards the Parabolica, Eden Nick could be in an overtaking position here for this one. But just do a comment in the chat from the man, the myth, the legend, the person who, one of 2 people that founded SimStational TV. The reason McEwen's racing ACC is because they made a deal. Maddie and Steve-O are going to do Formula Fridays if Alex McEwen does the GT Challenge. But now, back to the action. Eden Nick, he's going to be looking for a move now. The Mustang stretching its legs in a straight line with the slipstream as well. He shows a nose to the inside of Biggie Hugs, but he isn't going to commit to it. And now it looks like he's just going to be trying to set up his exit. Exit speed, obviously critical, coming out of turn 2. And now the run on towards the Curva Grande. And now once again, he's getting even closer. He's closing and closing and closing as they head towards the second braking zone. There's 4 minutes to go in this one. Eden Nick is perilously close. And now he's going to go up the inside of the BMW, but he can't get alongside. He's playing it safe, playing his cards right, and just waiting potentially for a final lap attack. Heading in towards the next 2 corners, definitely not overtaking opportunities. Then again, considering the grid tonight and the moves we've seen here, I beg to differ, as Old Man Racer's had a snap there in the Ferrari. That invites Speed Racer now onto his rear end. So we're going to see a Lexus versus Ferrari straight line competition. I'll tell you what, I know how this one's going to end out. It's like a GT3 versus a GT4 when any car goes up against the Lexus. As here we go, the Lexus stretching its legs in a straight line. Oh no, there's massive contact, and that's a huge crash. Heading down the straight between the two of them. Parker bucks out, doesn't want a bar of it here as we're going to go to the Helicam. What has happened there? Old Man Racer had a disastrous run through the first Lesmo, then into the second one. The Lexus gets such a good run. He's pulling up alongside. He's getting closer and closer, using the legs it has in a straight line. Goes to the left-hand side. And they both just kind of come into each other there. They were both kind of closing towards each other and had a massive cross-up heading down the straight. That was a huge incident.
Yeah, looking at that, you are kind of right. They kind of just came, they just sort of turned into each other a bit there. I think Old Man Racer tried to just move across to force Speed Racer to the inside, but I think they were both trying to move in on each other. That's ultimately caused a crash together. Here we go. James Parker on the inside, pulls it up for the corner, parks it, sets up the exit, drives off, move, done, and dusted. So, very nicely done there by Mr. James Parker. Moves himself up into 9th position after the disappointment he had earlier in the race, actually. Set him back a couple of positions after... I can't remember what happened to James now. I think he had that spin early in the race, didn't he? Somewhere?
Yes.
I can't. Yes, he did. Yes, sorry. But, Maddie, absolutely flying. 6.2 seconds to gap now. She has been absolutely untouchable without not a single, not a mistake made. Absolutely cruising in front. extending the Bentley's legs down straight and in general in pace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, final lap.
Yeah. Maddie enters the final lap here in Monza, her first race behind the wheel of the Bentley. And what a race it's been. I think she might like the piece of machinery she's behind the wheel of, to be honest. She's been driving a Mustang for seasons. She also drove a Merc. Both of those cars, well, I guess the Merc wasn't super quick in a straight line, actually. It used to be. But both of those cars, big front-engine cars. She picks another front-engine car, but this time it's one that can turn, because the other two may as well have not had front wheels. And now she has some front wheels on her car. She has a car that turns into the corners, and I'll tell you what, she's absolutely loving it, clearly, because she's out 6 seconds in the lead, untouchable. Let's quickly talk about the effect that will have then, heading into race number 2. This is a sprint format with a reverse grid, top 10 reverse grid. So, Maddie, in this one, she'll win, but then she'll be starting in P10 with a lot of work to do to try and recover to a second win to slam the first round. And that will definitely be interesting to see if she can do that. We don't see it too often here in Fargone. Justin Griffin in second will then be in ninth, and so on and so forth. Alex McEwen, though, another driver I want to talk about. He might be 13.5 seconds off the back of Griffin, but on debut here in ACC, or at least maybe not his debut on ACC, but his debut in GT Challenge, and he's definitely not an ACC regular whatsoever. I've never seen him league race ACC. He's going to get a podium, but all eyes are to Maddie as she rounds the final corner here in the Temple of Speed, here for race 1 of round 1 of the championship, behind the wheels of a new car, and she is going to be victorious in race 1. Maddie takes it home by 6 seconds. Justin Griffin will come home in second, and Alex McEwen on debut here in ACC is going to pick up a podium in race number 1 tonight. Let's see what he has then heading into the next one. Race number 2 with a reverse grid. Stephen Rees, the Porsche, costing him dearly. He comes home in 4th position. Andrew Long, our last season's champion, comes home in 5th. Hoggy will claim 6th position. Lee Perkins will come home in 7th in the Man City livery car. Then Ida Nick will come home in 8th position. Parker will come home in 9th. And then Biggie Hugs will come home, rounding out your top 10. Toba Sire is side by side with MJ. It's a drag race towards the line here for 11th position, and the Mustang should win out in a drag race, and it does win out in a drag race, and that is Toba Sire taking P11 by the skin of his teeth over MJ by 800ths of a second. Dave Ross comes home in 13th in his Aston Martin debut. Old Man Racer is then going to round the final corner in 14th position after a big crash down the straight. Tim Bradley is going to round the final corner with a very beaten up McLaren to get 15th. Tom Marzella also in a very beaten up Ferrari. I'm seeing a theme here down the back. They're all very destroyed pieces of cars, as he's going to come home in 16th. Speed Racer got 17th. Broads got 18th. Demon Boost got the last place of 19th. But Maddie knocks out the race number 1 win.
Yeah, very dominant drive. Didn't put a foot wrong, did exactly what she needed to do. Got herself some very nice points, leading that race, finishing in first. Now, as you said, she's got to work cut out for her now, because she's got to start 10th, and she's got to drive from the field. The other one, too, I just want to keep an eye out for. So, Justin Griffin, by the way, had very good pace. Just, I think, must have made a mistake somewhere along the line, because the gap was 4.3, and then it jumped up to like 6 seconds. But Justin clawed it back to 5.9 again. So I think Justin's pace is actually very, very good. Just didn't quite get the start, I think, on that first lap that he probably wanted. So I don't think counting out Justin here is going to be quite the strategy. I think Justin's very well a contender for this next race.
Yeah, 100%. And another driver that's definitely in contention with a car that's going to be so good at cutting through the field. It's going to be like a hot knife through butter with a car like the Lexus. He's going to have so much overspeed on everybody except the only other Lexus that'll be in front of him of Parker. And he should have a good charge, maybe another top 3. Parker is a dark horse as well. He was on for a P4 battle with Alex McEwen that would have turned into a P3 battle before he made a mistake, and now he has the opportunity in a reverse grid to start second, side by side with Biggie Hugs off of pole position and try and take the lead and see what he can do with it. Andrew Long as well, starting in 5th. He's definitely a contender. Won last season's championship for a reason. He's no slouch. Stephen Reese, probably in the most compromised position, because as much as he's going to be starting ahead of McEwen, of Griffin, of Matty, is he going to be able to cut through the field? He's going to have a hard time.
Maybe. I think there's a chance. Well, we'll see. So how long until we get underway?
A few moments. In fact, the server will be resetting. So, here at Sensational TV, we will be back in a moment. We are just going to have a brief intermission as we head towards race number 2.
A simulator model being purchased, you will have a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So, welcome back to the Fargone Racing GT Challenge Season 22 here for Monza. And we have quite the interesting race number 2 ahead of us. As actually, I'm trying to get... I know he hasn't spoken yet. My co-com's audio back. Could you speak for a second, Geordie?
Yes.
There he is. Okay. It is all fixed. So, we're about to go to the grid for race number 2. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Geordie, take over.
Yep. Right, so, 40 minutes around the Temple of Speed of Monza. So, reverse top 10, which means we've got our previous race winner, Maddie, she'll be starting P10, followed by Justin Griffin, followed by... I actually cannot remember who it was that finished in 3rd position. Apologies, folks. The professional is currently on a phone call, and I'm not exactly the professional one here, so... 40 minutes around Monza. I do not believe that there will be a mandatory pit stop, so the cars will have enough fuel to go the entire race.
Yeah, they will be.
And Maddie will have her work cut out for her. As well as Justin, actually. I've got a lot of money. Well, I don't literally, but I'm betting on the fact that I think Justin will be a serious competitor here to get the win.
Yeah, I think anybody inside the top 10 will be a threat to take the race victory, but it's for us to find out, as this session just does not want to tick. It really does not want to tick over, I'll tell you what. I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll just give it another minute or so. I know my ACC died a minute ago and I had to restart it. It might have died again. We'll see. But, if I was to make a prediction for the race winner... Ooh, this is a hard one. You know what? I'm going to be risky. I'm going to back the debutant. I think that with the power of the Lexus, his ability on the brakes, Alex McEwen could go from 7th all the way to 1st.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
Yeah, he might not have the raw speed of Matty or Steve-O or Griffin or even Andrew Long, although he did hold his own against him. I think that just the car, the tops, well, mainly the top speed and his ability to brake later than 99.8% of this grid is going to be the difference.
I actually agree.
You do?
Completely agree with that. Yes.
That doesn't happen much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what, Geordie and I have been best mates for, what, almost 4 years at this point.
Yeah.
It is rare that when I say something like that, he goes, I agree. Miracles do happen.
To be honest, I didn't really listen to half of it, but if I say I agree, then Lindsay Muddle will just go along with it, and he'll be happy for the rest of his life.
He's lying, everybody. He paid attention. He just doesn't want to admit it. Still not ticking over.
So, my only other chat here, I think, obviously, alongside Alex, I think Maddie's still quite the competitor here.
Yeah, and
I think Maddie will drive the way through.
another dark horse I have is James Parker. He was fighting up the front there with McEwen in race 1 before he had a moment. Now he's starting 2nd, which is the front row, alongside Biggie hugs, so he could also take the lead into turn 1 using the Lexus straight line speed and try and run away up the road before Maddie and Steve-O and McEwen and Griffin get to him, because they're going to have some overtaking to do. And you can't count out Monza turn 1 carnage, especially when you have a lot of the front runners having to battle a lot of the not so front runners all into a pile at turn 1. It is a bit of a disaster recipe.
Yeah, but disaster recipe equals entertainment. When on earth are we going to get this race underway? Because this is taking quite the time.
This is the question I'm asking, Geordie, because I actually could not tell you.
Right. Well, in the meantime, while we wait, so recently, obviously, the World Endurance Championship went to Fiji. I believe Ferrari's still winning. What rounds are left?
Oh God, Geordie, you're putting me on the spot for something I don't know. Well, we should still have...
Bahrain?
Yeah, I think Bahrain ends the season. Hold on, I'm doing my research for you now. No, I don't want the 2023 or the 2024 calendar. No, I don't want the 2026 calendar. Where's the 2025 calendar? There it is. Yeah, it's just Bahrain to go on November 8th.
Yeah, right. Cool. So, the other question I have is, does this series have safety cars?
This series?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
No. Okay, well, if there's a big shunt, then do your best to avoid it, I
If
guess.
there's
You
a
don't want to
huge,
do.
huge shunt, on the rare occasion there might be a restart. Because
Yeah, right.
if 17 out of the 19 cars get taken out, then
Yep.
yeah.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah, so I have no idea what's going on. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be right back again because I need to go investigate what's going on with the server.
Simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blink.
I am back, ladies and gentlemen, and you might notice there's a black screen. My ACC's died. I've just restarted the game. It's still not working. I can tell you the race is underway. Yeah, the race is going. The race is working. They're about 5 minutes into the race. My ACC does not want to work. I've restarted it 2 times now, trying to get back in. and it's not working. I connect to the server and it just still says they're in practice, but I know they're not in practice. So, unfortunately, we caught the first race, but race number 2 is not going to be streamed on my end. I'm not sure if on the Drop Bear Racing account there might be an automatic broadcast. If you want to go watch along there, but for me, I think that's going to be it, unfortunately. It's a big shame because obviously, first round of the championship, and we're going to miss out race 2 because my game does not want to work. It's a bit gutting, really. But it happens, so for now, until Friday, that'll be all from me when we get back underway for Fargone Racing again, but Formula Fridays, and Steve-O and Maddie should be making their appearance on that grid. We're in 2005 Formula 1 cars. Also the Wednesday Cup on Wednesday, but I doubt I'll be commentating that. It should be Chris Munro and Zach O'Reilly, the dynamic duo, in the commentary box for that one. So, unfortunately, on that terrible disappointment, that is going to be all here for this GT Challenge stream. I'll see you all again, though, for round number 2. And where is that? So, Spa for a 75-minute endurance race. So, I apologize sincerely to everybody, but that is going to be all. So, thank you for watching. Appreciate the support, everybody, but it is going to be an early end here. Good night.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.